Hey guys, it's Sarah. Thank you so much for watching. So today's video is going to be a quick makeup declutter. Just going to be sharing with you some products that I have decided to get rid of. I know I've been doing more declutters than usual on my channel recently, and that's really just because I'm getting ready to move and I'm in this mindset of like, if it's not worth keeping and putting in a box and paying to ship it across the country, it's really not worth keeping. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't normally like to declutter all that often because I would rather just get my money's worth, find ways to use things that I may not necessarily love. I have about 13 things that I'm getting rid of, and they're all just things that are either, I don't know, that just don't get me excited, that I'm not enjoying using, that I just don't like, that just don't really feel worth it to me to keep right at this point in time. And I feel like I can probably pass them on to someone who will love them a lot more than I will. So that is where I'm at right now with decluttering. After this, you're probably not going to see very many declutters on my channel for a while because I just did a big lip product declutter, a big bathroom product declutter, and now this is just a general makeup collection declutter. So after this, I don't think I'll need to declutter for a very long time. So hopefully you've gotten your fix. If you love declutter videos, this is for you. And also for me because I just need to get rid of some things. Got two CoverGirl foundations here. The first one is their Vitalist Healthy Elixir. This is in the shade 710 Classic Ivory. This was on sale, like super sale at Walgreens when I bought it for like $2 or $3 because they were discontinuing this and I'd really been wanting to try it. I'd heard such good things about it and I do really like this foundation. The problem is the shade is way too dark. I tried to convince myself that I could make it work by mixing it and adding like a lightener to it, and even then I just feel like it's a little too dark even when I do mix things with it. So yeah, I guess the shade range just runs really dark because I think this is the lightest shade, if not maybe the second lightest, but still. I don't know why they discontinued it because I know so many people love this foundation. The few times I was able to wear it, I could tell that I really liked the formula, but one other complaint I have is that it's very heavily fragranced. I really prefer things that are fragrance-free. I'm not completely fragrance-free with my makeup. I think that would just be a little too restrictive for me. But I do try to avoid fragrance as much as I can, particularly with skincare, but really with makeup too. So for all those reasons, primarily the shade, I just feel like it's better for me to declutter it, especially while it's still good. Hopefully it'll work for someone else. And the next foundation I have, also from CoverGirl, is their TruBlend, just their original TruBlend. I have this in L1 Ivory, which does match my skin tone. If not maybe a little too light, but for the most part it matches pretty well. I've been trying to figure this out on and off for like a year, trying to figure out if I like it or not. And I've just decided that I don't like it. I have a different experience with it like every time I use it. I don't know. There's been a few times that I've worn it and I did like it. If you can hear Heidi eating out of her bowl, I'm sorry. I've already paused this video so many times, so I'm just gonna keep going. But I think the time that I did like this is when I mixed it with this one. I don't know, I guess I could keep both and keep mixing them, but when I do, a lot of times it's still too dark. So, but then other times that I've used it, especially when I've used it on its own, it's been either so sheer yet still somehow really emphasizes texture on my skin, or I wore this in a video recently and I thought it made me, like, it aged me so much somehow. It made me look like 20 years older. Was how I felt. I had looked like I had a lot more wrinkles and fine lines than I actually do. I don't know, I just felt like it emphasized texture even though at the same time it doesn't have an overly matte finish. I feel like it's more in the middle between matte and dewy. I would say it's kind of a nice finish. It's the kind of finish that I like, just more skin-like than anything. But I don't know, it just kind of sat weirdly on top of my skin. It just seems like not a very trustworthy foundation if I've had such varied experiences with it, so I'm just ready to part with it. I know I have other foundations that I like better, so I'd rather just use those. Because like if your foundation looks bad, that's like the base that everything else goes on top of. So if that doesn't look good, you're kind of in trouble. All right, where next? All right, one lip product that didn't get decluttered in my lip declutter, but I have decided to declutter now, is the To Argan Lip Oil. I don't like this as a lip treatment. I was using it to remove lip product, especially when I was swatching a bunch of lip colors. It helped to just remove those in between, or just to remove like stubborn liquid lipsticks. I don't really feel the need to keep it through a move, especially because I don't really like the product itself. And I was just using that as a way to use it since I already had it, but I'd rather just part with it now. A couple of eyeliners I've decided to declutter. They're both green actually. The first one is this ColourPop cream gel liner in the shade Fastlane. I love the color. It's like a dark teal forest green. Really pretty. Actually, now that I'm putting it on, well, I do have lotion on, so I think that's helping. I was going to declutter this because I feel like it's dried out, but now I'm like, wait, because I just put it on and it's really creamy, but I feel like it might be because I'm wearing lotion on my hands. I don't know what to do now. Because I don't want to declutter something if it's perfectly good and I like it. Maybe I will keep it. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to declutter that one. I talked myself out of it. This one I am going to declutter though, the NYX Vivid Brights in the shade Vivid Envy. It's a liquid liner. I just don't like this color. It's like kind of a cross between like a bright grass green and like an army green, and it's just not flattering on my skin tone. I have to be kind of picky about the kinds of greens that I wear because it's very hard for me to pull off those more olivey toned greens. And this one is borderline olive, so I just never use it and it makes me sad, and it's really not something that I could give to someone else because, you know, it's not sanitary to do that. Since it's a brush that goes back in there, I just don't feel good about passing that on to someone else. So makes me sad, but I think I need to be a lot more picky about which greens that I choose and really just which colorful eyeliners I choose anyway, because unless it's a color that I just really love, I don't reach for them very much. So that one just has to go. All right, I mentioned this in my Project Pan update, but I'm also getting rid of my Jordana Easyliner in Rose Crush. It's just too pink, and I've decided I don't like how pink it is, and I don't like the way it looks on me. And for a long time I did like it. I like the formula of these lip liners. They're very inexpensive. My favorite one is the shade Tawny, which I really should get around to repurchasing one of these days, but this one I've decided I don't like the color. I've used a lot of it up, but for how much I paid for this, I don't feel like it's worth it to keep forcing myself to use it up when it's a color that I just don't like. I picked out a few single eyeshadows that I want to declutter. These were actually all in my bottom 5 when I did my top 5 bottom 5 of all the single eyeshadows I own video, which I can link below if you'd like to watch it, but I'm getting rid of 4 of those. One of them is ColourPop Faultline. I just don't like these cool purples. I don't like that color. It's not a very good quality shadow. It's very sheer. Just not a fan. Also ColourPop Bashful, beautiful quality, but this color is just too olive. 3 of these are like olive greens, so you're noticing a pattern here. MakeupGeek Dirty Martini, it's a beautiful matte olive green. It's just not flattering on my skin tone. I try and try to pull off this color in clothes, in makeup, and it just looks bad on me. I don't know why, but I'm gonna have to just accept it and wear other colors instead. And then this is MakeupGeek Venom, which is like really similar to Dirty Martini, but it's shimmery, also beautiful, just doesn't look good on me. I used to feel like I had to feel comfortable wearing every color of the rainbow, and I wanted to also own every single color out there, but I'm just realizing certain colors I just don't like. Purples and greens I really don't love wearing unless they're the right tone. I do have some greens that I love. I love La Playa from ColourPop. I love Tea Garden from ColourPop. I love Howlin' and Prowlin', which are both light purples and pastels. But these kinds of tones, I just don't like them. I could wear them. I could just try to be cool and wear them because they're trendy or other people look good in them, but I just don't like them, so having to accept it. I'm also just gonna go ahead and declutter this empty palette because all of the singles I currently own fit in my larger Z palette. Well, it's really a ColourPop magnetic palette, so I just don't need it. And I'd rather, if I'm gonna pass these on, I'd rather pass them on in some kind of palette like this. So I'll probably be giving most of these to people through the Buy Nothing project. If you've not heard of it, I'll link the website below. It's a really cool way to gift items in your community, like locally, so I definitely recommend it if you're ever looking for someone to take things that you don't want, anything, household items, clothes, makeup. And then finally I have a few tools. This is the MOTD Masterpiece Crease. This is one of those stiff pencil brushes. I love all the other MOTD brushes that I have. This was sent to me in PR, by the way, but this is just not a shape and style of brush that I use. I think most people would use this for like outer corner work or as like a detail crease brush, but the detail crease brush that I really like is the e.l.f. one, and it's a lot less stiff than this one, so I find it just easier to work with than this, and that's the one I end up reaching for when I need that kind of a brush. So this is just not something that I need to keep. And it's one less brush that I'll have to clean and, you know, all that. It's great quality. I think MOTD does a great job with their brushes. It's just not a kind of brush that I need. And then I'm decluttering both of my Profusion sponges. These came in their $20 brush vault. I love like pretty much all the brushes that came in that vault. It came with a smaller sponge and then a regular sized sponge. The regular sized sponge is just really stiff and it like, you feel like you're smacking your face with a Nerf football when you use this. It does a fine job blending out foundation, but I just do not enjoy the experience of using it. I've used it several times. I feel like I've used it enough and I don't feel like keeping it anymore. And then the smaller sponge has a really good consistency. It's really soft, but I just don't need a smaller sponge just for concealer. I'd rather just use my big sponge for that. Just don't really love either of these, so I might as well not let them continue taking up space in my life. Yeah, those are the products I'm decluttering. I ended up deciding not to declutter my Jordana 12-hour Made to Last black pencil. Just for now, I feel like I'd like to try to make some more progress on it. I know I mentioned I might declutter it in my last project pan update, but yeah, those are my thoughts now. So hope you enjoyed this little impromptu declutter. I know it was pretty quick. If you'd like to see some more declutters that I've done recently, I'll link them below, along with the whole playlist of all the declutters I've ever done in my life. So anyway, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed and have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.